Jada Pinkett Smith responds to Chris Rock's recent roast about the infamous slap seen and heard around the world. Man, she just said, "What? I told y'all, this story ain't done yet." What's up, y'all? It's your boy Pascal back at it again with another pop-up video. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, TikTok, and on Twitter. The Pascal Show. One word. Hit that like button down below, and let's not forget to crush that subscribe button if this is your first time checking out this channel right here. Anyway, we got to jump into this story. This one's insane. Man, I thought we were done for the day with this conversation, this topic, but hey, I told you it wasn't over yet. I told you we'd be getting more information from other people, more responses. Now, we already know Chris Rock just did his show, Selective Outrage, on Saturday. He, at the very end of the show, near the end of the show, he finally put in his 2 cents about the slap seen and heard around the world. Some people thought that this was going to be a wrap. Some people thought this is done. Story over, etc. Well, I beg to differ. Now we have Jada Pinkett Smith coming out and saying something more. According to a source, but let's keep it real. I really think this is her, or it's somebody in her team trying to help her out with something that's coming up in the very, very near future. Because I totally forgot about this one thing that she has coming up. And I'm going to explain that in just a little bit. And it's also in this article. But nonetheless, I thought this was very, very interesting. And thanks to you guys on Twitter, because without you guys sending me this article, I would not have known this. This would have flown right under my radar. And so let's get into this. She's saying that she had no part in the Chris Rock and Will Smith drama, according to a source. I beg to differ. In my personal opinion, that's not true at all. But hey, let's get into this real quick. It says a source close to the actress told people exclusively that the comedian's focus on her has been going on for almost 30 years. In fact, she later on says something else about him, calling him something else, or that he's so hyper-focused on her. But she says, or according to the source, it's a little bit more extreme. Let's get into it. All right. So they already said, she's not involved in the ongoing tension between her husband and the comedian Chris Rock. Okay. And her husband obviously is Will Smith. All right. This is, of course, from a source close to the actress. And they're telling this article, giving them the exclusive. Okay. Now, we already know a year ago there was the huge slap seen and heard around the world. We all are still reeling over that still, even almost a year later. I mean, in a few days, it will be a year, which is really mind-blowing to think about it. Now, Chris Rock finally addressed this on his live Netflix stand-up show called Selective Outrage on Saturday, okay? Now, he goes in, as we already know, on their relationship, goes in on details about what he believes is the reason why this all went down, so on and so forth. But let's get into the nuts and bolts of this. Jada has had no part in all of this other than being heckled, the source says. Chris is obsessed with her, and that's been going on for almost 30 years. What? Now, one thing I have to say is, how has he been obsessed with her for the almost 30 years? What is it? Right? And again, let's keep it real. There are certain things that we don't know because we're not behind closed doors. Maybe he tried to holler back in the day. Maybe he has a secret crush on her. Maybe there is some weird, crazy thing where he made some romantic advances towards her. She declined, and he has just been in his feelings about that. But for her to say obsessed is that's a big word to use, and very egotistical, in my personal opinion as well. But again, I don't know. Maybe this is how Jada is. I don't know, right? I don't know her personally, but let's go on. Look where he chose to film his Netflix special, her hometown of Baltimore. Obsessed. Now, that is also very true. The special is or was recorded in her hometown of Baltimore. What's really interesting though, and you know, because I did talk about that in my most recent live. I said, man, what's crazy is that they decided to do this whole show in her hometown. That is absolutely crazy in my personal opinion. Okay, that's wild. It's kind of like an extra fu to her, an extra middle finger to the whole situation. But let's continue. It says here, back in 2016, she helped start a movement with the Academy Awards by questioning why are so few black members. And Chris took it to this. Now, all right, we can go in on the whole Oscars so white movement and all that, because obviously she's saying she was supporting black actors as part of the Oscars so white movement. Will Smith was shut out of the Best Actor race that year for his performance in Concussion. And of course, we all have rights to have our own opinion. We all have, art is, it's like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? It's like art, the appreciation of that art is in the eye of the beholder. Now, I saw Concussion. I didn't think it was good. I've seen Will Smith in better movies. Should he have gotten the Best Actor nom for Concussion? I'm going to say, in my personal opinion, no. I don't think he needed it for this one. Give it to him for so many other movies that he's done. Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, let's just talk about that one right now. Okay? Phenomenal movie. Great work. Please. And thank you. Right? But Concussion? I don't think it was a good year for Will Smith on that particular movie. But then again, there are people out here that enjoy and probably appreciate Concussion. Me, I did not. And it sounds like the Academy wasn't a fan of that at all as well. During his stand-up special, he quipped a few years ago, his wife said, I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host because her man didn't get nominated for a Concussion. And then he gives me an effing concussion. And obviously this is a joke from the show, from this recent stand-up and all that, which he kind of messed up. But then when he did it again, I mean, it still landed pretty well. It's Chris Rock. He's a pro, right? The source counters. She never asked Chris to not host the Oscars ever. She publicly said in a Facebook post at the time, Chris would be a great Oscars host and is perfect for the job. Let me say something about this comment right here. There's a lot that you can say out loud that you may not be saying behind closed doors. You may be saying, oh, no, I never asked him to stop. I never asked him to do that. Yet maybe there was a conversation where you did ask him. But to the public, maybe you never made that publicly known. Maybe you didn't put it out there to the public. But he knows. There must have been some sort of conversation. There must have been some sort of text message, a tweet, a scroll flown by a hawk to Chris Rock from her, basically saying, hey, I think you should stand in solidarity with the other black actors and other black creators here and not host. And Chris was like, no, I'm still going to do it. Just because she puts up something on Facebook saying, oh, I think he'll be a great host. And I'm here for, I'm glad for him and he'll be perfect for the job, does not mean that she wasn't maybe, sliding in his DMs saying otherwise. I'm just saying that out loud. Okay. I am just saying that out loud. Okay. So in his special, he also claimed that Jada deserved to be made fun of, saying that she was the one to start things and that he was simply reacting. I did some jokes about her. Who gives an F? That's how it is. She starts it and I finish it, Rock said. That's what the F happened. Nobody's picking on this B. She started this ish. Nobody was picking on her. Now, let me say this. He's got a point though about him simply reacting. He's not the one who put August Alsina. It's 3:00 and I'm faded. She didn't put this dude. He didn't put this dude in her bed. He didn't turn to her and say, hey, go and have extramarital affairs with your son's friend who happens to be living in your house at the time and cheat on your husband, and then go onto your Red Table Talk and make this be one of the most viewed episodes that the show has ever had. No one's asked her, no one told her to do that. She did that on her own. And so if he goes out and reacts to that, that it's not his fault if he's speaking facts. And that's exactly what he's doing here. He was just spitting facts. They continue to bring out all this stuff. I mean, he's just reacting to the ish that's going on. And he gets slapped in the face and all that stuff. I mean, you know, it's the ridicule is real. The embarrassment is real as well. But again, he was simply reacting, if you really think about it, and just discussing something that we all been talking about for the past year. But moving on, the source tells people they were shocked at how many times Chris used the word B in referring to Jada. Let me tell you something. He only called her once. He only called her the B word once, y'all. Go back and watch it. This person or this source is wrong. He called Will Smith the B word. I don't need 11 times. Okay? 311 times? Like a whole bunch of times, man. Whole bunch of times. He called Jada the B word once. Once. And hey, I leave that up to you guys if you think it was well deserved or not. Because I know that it's very split out here. So I'm just going to leave that on the table and you guys can discuss that amongst yourselves. All right? Despite Rock's targeting of Jada, she is looking ahead, the source says. Says right now, Jada is focused on her book that will come out this year. The source concluded. Let me say really quick, of course she hopped on or had her source, PR, her agent, whatever, somebody, maybe her assistant, come out and make this comment to me, or to come out and make these statements. To me, this feels like this is coming straight from Jada and clearly is an opportunity to capitalize on promoting her next or her book. That's really what it is. Think about it, y'all. She jumps out and she's putting out all this stuff and she's like, oh, he's so obsessed with me. He's been obsessed with me for the past 30 years. Why are you so obsessed with me? Come on, guys. Come on. And then, of course, on top of all that, she's like, oh my God, clutch my pearls. He called me the B word several times. He only called you the B word once. Whether that was whether that is not right or not, I leave that up to you guys. But still, at the same time, it was only uttered once about you. He called Will the B word a gang load of times. You use this opportunity to jump on and promote again your upcoming book. Remember, we talked about this almost a year ago when we were deep diving into this whole thing. And even back then, she was promoting a book at that time too. Now we're seeing it again. What the hell is going on here? What the hell is going on here, y'all? Is this her trying to get in front of this and react to his stand-up? Or is this an opportunity for her to promote so that she can secure a bag with hopefully a best-selling book and ride off the coattails of Chris Rock's recent stand-up special? I leave that question up to you guys. Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. What are your thoughts on this? Okay, where do you stand on this? To me, I feel like it is an absolute ploy to, one, try to dig at him again by saying, "Oh, he's so obsessed with me." but another one to secure them bags. That's what I think. This is trash, in my personal opinion. Instead of her going, let us have a season of healing. Let's heal. Let's seek out and talk things out. Instead of her doing that, she's going, yeah, I got a book coming out later on this year. And he's so obsessed with me. Why do you think she's saying that now? Because now everybody's going to want to go grab the book and read about it because there's going to be a special chapter about Chris Rock in that book. And I'm telling you right now, that will be the reason or one of the reasons why people are going to be picking up the book. It's going to be a chapter about Will, or a whole bunch of chapters about Will, a chapter about August Alsina, and another chapter about Chris Rock and that slap. That's the reason why she tried to jump on this right now to capitalize on this BS. That's sad. That's what I think. Anyway, guys, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. And most definitely crush that subscribe button. It'd be great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, it's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys in the next video. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.